Jesus tells the story of a man who was robbed, beaten, and left for dead on the side of the road. Several passers-by, including a priest and a Levite, ignore him. However, a Samaritan, considered an outsider by the community, stops to help. This story
teaches the importance of compassion and kindness to everyone, regardless of social or cultural differences. Jesus compares the kingdom of heaven to a mustard seed, which is one of the smallest seeds. Yet, when planted, it grows into a large tree where birds can find shelter. This story illustrates the transformative power of small, humble beginnings. In this story, Jesus learns about the death of John the Baptist and withdraws to a solitary place. However, a large crowd follows him. Seeing their need, Jesus has compassion on them and heals their sick. As evening approaches, the disciples express concern about feeding the multitude. Jesus takes 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, blesses them, and miraculously multiplies the food to feed the entire crowd with 12 baskets of leftovers. A woman caught in the act of adultery is brought to Jesus by the scribes and Pharisees, testing him and seeking to trap him in a dilemma. They ask if she should be stoned according to the law of Moses. Jesus responds by challenging anyone without sin
to stone. Convicted by their own consciences, the accusers leave one by one. Jesus forgives the woman, telling her to go and sin no more. At a wedding feast in Cana, Jesus performs his first miracle by turning water into wine when the hosts run out. This event reveals Jesus' divine power and marks the beginning of his public ministry. Jesus takes Peter, James, and John up a mountain where he is transfigured, his face shining like the sun, and Moses and Elijah appear. A voice from heaven declares Jesus as the beloved Son, instructing the disciples to listen to him. Friends bring a paralyzed man to Jesus, but the crowd is so large they can't get him close. They'll lower him through the roof, and Jesus forgives the man's sins and heals him, demonstrating his authority to forgive and heal. Teaching on a mountainside, covering topics such as the Beatitudes, love for enemies, prayer, and wise living. It encapsulates many core principles of Christian ethics. Jesus delivers a profound teaching on a mountainside, covering topics such as the Beatitudes, love for enemies, prayer, and wise living. It encapsulates many core principles of Christian ethics. Jesus describes himself as the good shepherd who cares for his sheep. He contrasts the care of a good shepherd with that of a hired hand, emphasizing the intimate relationship between him and his followers.
Jesus heals 10 lepers, but only one returns to express gratitude. This story underscores the importance of gratitude and highlights Jesus' healing power. A wealthy young man asks Jesus what he must do to inherit eternal life. Jesus challenges him to sell his possessions and follow him. The story explores the tension between wealth and spiritual commitment. Jesus shares a final meal with his disciples before his crucifixion. He institutes the Lord's Supper, symbolizing his body and blood. This event is significant in Christian tradition and forms the basis for the sacrament of